Hey, man! Welcome back to the Super Divorce YouTube channel and or Twitch channel. Nicholas Villars here, aka Super Divorce, and welcome to tonight's edition of Sega Mania. Sega Mania is a live, internet-based live streaming video game-centric program in which we are taking a merry jaunt through the pages and reviews featured in, you guessed it, Sega Mania magazine. Now, what was Sega Mania magazine? That was a fan-run, fan-funded, fan-celebrated magazine. Highly professional magazine that ran for 7 issues from 2021 through 2022 until it, sailed off into the sunset. Why? I know why. I'll tell you about that sometime. But not tonight. Tonight we're just going to celebrate. We're going to continue to celebrate Sega Mania magazine the way Sega Mania magazine celebrated Sega games and Sega consoles. That's what we're here to do. And we're doing that tonight with Galaxy Force 2 for the Sega Mega Drive. Galaxy Force 2. A game that I had never played at all until I just, very briefly fired up the game to make sure it would work. But prior to reading about it in Sega Mania magazine, didn't really know anything of Galaxy Force or Galaxy Force 2. Garg wants, hey, what's up, by the way? I'm looking over at my chat here. Garg Dargus, my wife Jess, have popped into the chat here. I don't see anyone else. Has anyone else come by? Oh, I see them now. For some reason, it wasn't showing up right away. Carrot's here. Faye is here. How's it going, everybody? But Garg Dargus wanted to know how far I got in the Game Gear / Master System version of Sonic 2 last night. I made it to what happened there? I'm trying to remember what was the thing that sent me packing. At what point did I turn off that game? Now hold on a second. I've got to remember from my own mind. I don't want to look. I don't want someone. I don't need someone to assist me in remembering last night's stream. I've got to be able to put this together in my own brain. Now, what was it? I had encountered some bullshit on the level, the boss fight level, where we fought the kind of it was like a bird, like a mechanical bird. We fought that. I ended up beating that. But one time I fell into the chasm. I just fell into a hole. Dropped right down into a chasm as I was on my way to fight the boss. And that game's a little bullshit because they don't give you any rings. The boss fight is like its own level. It's like its own act. So you make it through 2 levels and then you have the boss fight level. It starts you off at the beginning of it with no rings. There are no rings to collect on the way to the boss. And so 1 hit and you're dead. Anyway, I made it past that. And then where was it? I didn't get all the way to the end. I know that much. Shit. I might have to look. Because I'm drawing a blank right now. Came after that? What kind of zone? What kind of zone followed that one? It's completely gone from my brain. Maybe I blocked it out because I didn't want to remember. Whatever happened, whatever it was that stopped my progress in its tracks, you don't get any continues in the Master System / Game Gear version of Sonic 2. So you have to shoot right through the sumbitch and collect enough extra lives along your journey to sort of pad any fuck-ups that you make along the way. Because they're not nice. They're not nice. They don't care at all. Oh, what's up, Jorfus? Jorfus said I ended at Aqua Lake Zone. Oh, that was it? Yeah, that's right. I was underwater, and I was trying to jump through, like just a little space, you know? There was like a little tunnel that I needed to jump through. And I couldn't jump through it. It was blocking me. It was a spot that I should very easily have been able to jump into, but the game was blocking me from doing so. I don't know why. I wasn't able to get through this little passage, and I was underwater, and I ran out of air, and I died. And that was the end of my run. Very anticlimactic ending to the evening, but that's how it happened. Garg says he still plays that game semi-regularly. I mean, it's a good game. I like it, but it's tough. It's tough as nails. Much tougher than, you know, the version that most people have played. The Mega Drive version. The Genesis version. But yes, I did end up beating the evil bird. I got past that thing. Garg Darga says Green Hill Zone Act 3 would have made you turn the machine off. If not, then the Scrambled Egg Zone definitely would have. Well, here's the thing, Garg Dargus. I have actually beaten that game before. Though, I beat the version that was, which one did I do? I guess it would have been that version, wasn't it? I just played it, I played it like a G. I've got a full playthrough of that one on this channel. No commentary, though. So if you'd like to see me actually make it through, I've got that on here. I took a day, and I just committed to doing it, and I got through it. So you can look at my playthrough. You can watch me play through the whole damn thing. But I did it that one time. I had not gone back to it since then, so I was very much out of practice. And I knew, basically when I started, I was not likely to beat the entire thing last night. But yeah, the Scrambled Egg Zone. What? Because I've only played it that one time. Can you describe Scrambled Egg Zone for me again? Because I don't remember. I don't remember shit about it. Martin says he would have beaten it. Carrot can beat all of the games on the first try. He's very much like my dog Warrior. Just a savant. An absolute savant. Any game you can imagine. Hand him a controller. He'll have it beat within an hour. Doesn't matter what it is. Elden Ring, Dark Souls, Demon Souls, Sekiro. Any of these modern masterpieces that people say are so tough. Carrot and Warrior, they'll go right through them. Hour or less. Scrambled Egg Zone is the giant pipe maze. Oh, that one. Yeah. That one was a son of a bitch. I remember now. Yeah. That was frustrating. Alright, well. Yes. Earthworm Jim is a tough game, too. I agree. I've never beaten that one. So let's see here. What are we talking about tonight? Galaxy Force 2. Well, you guys know the drill. Some of you. If you don't, before we take a look at the Sega Mania magazine review of Galaxy Force 2, we're gonna check out some pineapple tidbits. Heading over to the produce section. I'm gonna grab some pineapple tidbits for you guys. A few fun facts. And then I'll be back to check the chat and see what you guys think of these pineapple tidbits. And just, oh, hold on. Before I do that, Mr. Jorfus would like to share his joke of the night. So we'll hang tight here and wait for Mr. Jorfus' joke of the night. Hopefully something topical. Hopefully a galaxy-themed joke of some sort. Here you go, joke of the night. Why was a lactose intolerant suffering? Answer: because he was in the Milky Way. There you go, it's Mr. Jorfus' joke of the night. Thanks for keeping it on topic. Galaxy, Milky Way. That would be something else. That would be brutal. If you were so lactose intolerant that just living in the Milky Way galaxy caused you, what would you say, stomach discomfort? You'd have to have an IV drip full of Pepto-Bismol right next to you 24/7. That'd be brutal. Or maybe some Lactaid or something. Also, Ghoulie in the chat, who's been filling us in on his love life in the pursuit of romance with a young lady over time. He's got a little update here. He says, same as usual, except in person tonight because of Good Friday service. So he went to Good Friday service. He got to see his love interest for a short period of time, but I guess nothing groundbreaking. Still just kind of keeping things on a friendly level, engaging in casual conversation, and still continue to wish you the best. All right, now, the pineapple tidbits for Galaxy Force 2. Galaxy Force is a rail shooter developed by Sega and released for arcades in 1988, complete with motion simulator cockpit with their Super Deluxe version. Just like Space Harrier and Thunderblade, they had these huge deluxe cockpit arcade cabinets, you know, where you sit inside of it and it can like spin you around and all sorts of crazy shit. That was like the Super Deluxe version. Then there was also a standard version, just like walk up to your traditional arcade cabinet and play, and then a deluxe sit-down version, but it didn't spin. Didn't do all the fancy spinning gyroscopic horse shit that the Super Deluxe version did. This game, Galaxy Force, was created with Sega's Y-board technology. Same tech that also powered the arcade versions of Outrun, fantastic game we've played here on Sega Mania, and Space Harrier, another fun one that we've played on Sega Mania. Also powered a game called Power Drift. Haven't played that one. Not sure if we will. I guess we'll find out in due course. But what do those games have in common? They were all created by Yu Suzuki. Fantastic, legendary video game creator who would go on to do Shenmue, some of my favorite games of all time. Now, Galaxy Force was heavily inspired by Star Wars, the real Star Wars. You know, the ones actually created by George Lucas, not this Disney Star Wars horse shit. All of it. All of it. I don't care how good you think The Mandalorian is, or how good you thought Force Awakens was, or how much you liked, what else, Rogue One. I don't care. It's not Star Wars. It's fanfic. Some of it might be better fan fiction than others, but it's not Star Wars. I don't care. I don't care what you say. It's not Star Wars. Galaxy Force was inspired by real Star Wars. Did you hear that? That was back in the nose cap. You hear Rey? Rey Skywalker. Rey the perhaps most boring, awful character in all of Star Wars lore is going to be coming back for another Star Wars film where she's going to restore the Jedi Order. It's a good thing that in my mind I've relegated all of this to bad fan fiction. That's really all it is. It's no different than if some, like, uber nerd Star Wars fan, and I'm a Star Wars fan, so don't think that I'm saying that, like, if you're a Star Wars fan, you're a big nerd and that's bad. I'm saying imagine just some nerdy Star Wars fan like me from let's say it happened in the 90s, and some nerdy Star Wars fan who happened to be a billionaire just purchased Star Wars from George Lucas. And he said, well, now I'm going to start making Star Wars movies. And I've got some ideas, man. I've been writing these stories. He's been writing his fan fiction. And he's got enough money to actually produce the shit. And that's what it is. And you wouldn't be surprised because it's just coming from this guy who's not George Lucas. Who doesn't care, really. Or, you know what? Actually, that guy probably would care because he spent the money. He's a fan. Okay, there's something. Here's something new. Disney Star Wars is actually below the level of fan fiction because the people running the show now don't care. You're not even dealing with fans. It would probably have been better for some random dickhead who wrote bad fan fiction on his GeoCities site in the 90s who happened to be a billionaire. It would have been better for him to purchase Star Wars and produce his fan fiction and turn that into Star Wars lore. In-universe lore. Continue the story that George Lucas created. It would be better for that guy to be running the show than the people who are in charge now. That's what I think of modern-day Disney Star Wars. That's where I would place it. Okay? Galaxy Force inspired by real Star Wars. Back in 1988... Hold on, let me just check the chat to see if I maybe made anyone butthurt with that. It doesn't look like it. Okay. Because people get offended. In this case, I wish you the best. If what I just said offends you as a Disney Star Wars fan, you're welcome to talk shit if you would like. If I have besmirched you. But that's how I feel, and I'm not going to. I will not apologize for it. And you don't have to apologize for liking it if you do. That's just my opinion. Okay. Ghoulie says, personally, Rogue One was actually really good. The CGI was good, and he thought it was a good balance of violence and comedic relief. Also, it filled in between 3 and 4. Rogue One was not awful, but I just don't consider it to be, if we're talking about canonical Star Wars, then I'm gonna have to go with the old extended universe that they have now demoted to Star Wars Legends. It's like, oh, that several decades worth of books and video games that all tied in with the movies and that George Lucas signed off on. All that stuff, you guys, look, we're not saying you can't enjoy it anymore. It's just those are the legends. That's not what really happened. What really happened is what we're about to show you. Huh? I know you guys have been keeping this franchise alive for decades now with your books and your video games, and your comic books and all your shit. That's nice. We're glad that you guys had fun with that. But here, now let us show you what really happened. All right. Back to the tidbits here. Remember how I was talking about this deluxe cabinet the gyroscope, the spinning. In 1988, a deluxe cabinet of Galaxy Force. Or sorry, no, this is just the deluxe, okay? Not the super deluxe, the regular deluxe version with a sit-down seat, not a stand-up seat, a sit-down seat, and sort of your big fancy display. That would have went for around $18,000, or well over $40,000 adjusted for inflation in 2023. The super deluxe version, with the gyroscope and the spinning and the horse shit, went for $30,000, or adjusted for inflation in 2023, around $70,000. Can you believe that? I mean, that's a huge investment. Imagine running an arcade. You go for that, man. You better be hoping that people are bringing the quarters for this one. You got to make all that money back a quarter at a time. That's steep. But, I mean, it reviewed really well and people seem to enjoy it. Now, here's something. I've been talking about Galaxy Force. I haven't said Galaxy Force 2. You might have picked up on that. Maybe you didn't. Why aren't you talking about Galaxy Force 2? Super Divorce? Why aren't you talking about the game that you're actually playing this evening? That's because everything that I have just been going on about, the arcade version, it was in arcades for about 2 months. And then what happened? Galaxy Force 2 was released. Well, how? Were they really gonna go around to these arcades where someone might have just paid $30,000, or in today's money, $70,000, and say, "We're glad you just bought this arcade, machine for probably as much as your arcade itself costs to start up here, but how about a new version of Galaxy Force?" Luckily, they didn't do that. That's not what happened. Galaxy Force 2 is actually a conversion kit that turned the Galaxy Force machine into Galaxy Force 2. So the original game itself really was not around long at all. Very short lifespan for the original Galaxy Force. Galaxy Force 2 was the conversion kit, so you could take your Galaxy Force cabinet and then you could install this conversion kit and it became Galaxy Force 2. So it's not an actual sequel, but it's more like an expansion or a patch in today's parlance. What it did was it added 2 new levels and it corrected a whole slew of gameplay balancing issues. So it's not like it changed the game. It wasn't a true sequel, but they made some changes to the way that the gameplay operated. The function and the behavior of some of the enemies, and then also added a couple levels to it, and they called that Galaxy Force 2. Now, the overwhelming majority of Galaxy Force console releases were actually based on the Galaxy Force 2 conversion kit. And, except for the Master System version, which was totally redone due to the hardware limitations on the Master System. And it ended up being more like Space Harrier than Galaxy Force. But all the other home console releases were actually based on the Galaxy Force 2 conversion kit upgrade that you would have seen at most of the arcades, unless you happened to catch this game within like the first few months of it being released. One more thing that I thought was interesting. According to Sonic co-creator Yuji Naka, who we just talked about in last night's Tidbits, Michael Jackson was gifted an arcade cabinet of Galaxy Force 2 when he went to visit Sega one time. Be like, Michael, thank you for coming. As a token of our appreciation for stopping by the offices here, we have prepared for you a nice Galaxy Force 2 cabinet that you can take back with you to Neverland Ranch. And he did, and that's where it remained until all the shit there was sold off, I think, like in 2009 or so. So yeah, Michael Jackson used to play Galaxy Force 2. And those are tonight's tidbits. So, yeah. Looking at the chat here, Ghoulie says that one thing the EU... Oh, hold on. One EU thing that stayed with Disney Star Wars was the TIE Defender, which was in the game Star Wars Squadrons. Shadows of the Empire and Dark Forces aren't canon anymore. Well, they are to me. They're still real to me, damn it. Imagine trading in Shadows of the Empire and Dark Forces for The Last Jedi. No. 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 Okay. Mr. Jorfus can't believe that Michael Jackson had a Sega console. Well, no, he didn't just have a console. He had like an entire arcade. He had a huge collection of arcade cabinets at Neverland Ranch. And I'm sure he had a Genesis or a Mega Drive. He probably had all of them. He probably had all the games that came out up until the time that he passed away. I think he was a pretty big nerd. Let me crack open my floppy copy of Sega Mania magazine, issue number 3, so that I can read you tonight's review of Galaxy Force 2. Coming to us from Sega Mania journalist Sam Forrester. Let's see if he can redeem himself after a fairly, I would say, I don't know. I don't like to talk shit, but I think that his Streets of Rage Game Gear and Master System review was a little bit phoned in. And I explained why. If you don't know why, then go back and watch the Streets of Rage episode of Sega Mania here just from several days ago. But Sam Forrester gets another shot here tonight with his Galaxy Force 2 review. And I've got my Sega Mania magazine opened up to page number 27. And what I'm going to do right now is, if you'll just take a look at your television set, I have placed up on your television set for you a graphic, a nice graphic of the Galaxy Force 2 review from Sega Mania magazine. You can follow along right there, look at the pretty pictures, and read the pretty words, or you can check the description of this video for a link to the Sega Mania magazine online archive. You click on over there, you click to issue number 3, you digitally flip to page 20, it's 27 for me. I think that these, hold on, let me look at something here. Let me try to confirm this. Yeah, the digital version of the magazine is numbered differently than the physical copy that I'm holding in my hand. For me, I've got page number 27. For you, if you're going to the digital copy, it's going to be page 29. So make note of that. Here we go. Let's see what Sam Forrester had to say. Sam Forrester says of Galaxy Force 2, if you have ever wondered what it would actually feel like to have been Luke Skywalker at the end of Star Wars, you need to look no further than Galaxy Force 2. Okay, so you may not be fighting your way through Empire forces before blasting the exhaust port of the Death Star, but the similarities are certainly there. You control Tri-Z, a starship tasked with destroying the evil Fourth Empire, no relation, we assume, before it can take over the galaxy. Where have we heard that one before? It's a pretty basic premise, but you don't need a War and Peace length backstory when you're pumping coins into the arcade machine, eager for a taste of explosive space combat. Galaxy Force was a massively popular fixture in Japanese arcade halls in the late 80s, before finding itself ported to various consoles for our destructive pleasure in the early 90s. And it is easy to see why it drummed up such a positive response. The player has to pilot their way through a variety of worlds, gunning down anything that gets in the way. Obstacles range from enemy ships and turrets to missile launchers and robots. On some levels, even the environment is working against you, but you can make quick work of trees and lava spouts with your auto fire or some carefully deployed projectiles. You must be careful to keep an eye on not only your shields, which will be depleted by enemy fire, but your energy level as well. Once you run out of fuel, it's game over, so there's a degree of resource management to juggle as well. The difficulty scale is adjustable, but the challenge is a tough one no matter how easy your settings. The levels are pretty long, and once you're done battling enemies in the open world, you'll be confined to a tunnel lined with turrets as you attempt to penetrate the enemy fortress. After some deft piloting, you'll be faced with the generator of that particular stronghold, which, it has to be said, is pretty easily dispatched. The action in Galaxy Force is non-stop, and it is bloody good fun tearing through the levels with your finger on the trigger. It's certainly a game you can keep coming back to, especially if you fancy having another go on a tougher difficulty. It bears a pretty strong resemblance to Space Harrier, another great classic title, so it is a little disappointing that there aren't any bosses to speak of. Once you get to the generator, that's it, which feels a little anticlimactic as it doesn't give you any fight as you unload your missiles into it. But that is a minor criticism of what is a rip-roaring rail shooter. So says Sam Forrester. So, I mean, there's a very brief backstory, you know. And now, let us try out Galaxy Force 2 for 1/2 of 1 hour at least. Clock starts just about now. You know, I enjoyed Space Harrier. So if this is more like Space Harrier than Super Thunderblade, we'll be in good shape here. Galaxy Force 2. It's a nice sound effect to start things off. Jorfa says, welcome to Factor Cap. Let's see if he is right on the review. Let's find out. Scene select. Select by control pad. Okay, scene select. There we go. Got our shield down there. Energy. See our energy dwindling. I'm trying to see what my... Is that my my fire that I'm holding down right there? I'm not sure. Hold on. I'm having a little trouble. Oh, there. Okay, now I can see. I wasn't able to see my projectiles firing in front of me at first. They're kind of tough. They fire like right in front of you, so you kind of can't see them if you're just flying straight. Hold on, am I? Is just firing automatically? I'm not sure how this works. Okay, it looks like I don't even have to press anything. It seems as though my my ship is just firing from the get-go. I don't have to do anything here. Except just kind of aim the shots. Alright, penetrate the enemy fortress. Whoop. I haven't changed the difficulty. So far this... Whoa, just don't crash. Seems pretty easy to dodge most of the shit coming at me here. And my energy is getting pretty low. Left turn. Right turn. Oh, don't do that. Oh. Destroy the enemy control center. Did I get it? Ooh, I only had 50 energy left. Okay. Mission 1 clear. Good job. Is it going to give me more energy? I hope so. 335 doesn't seem like enough to make it. Shield broken. Okay. Oh, there I'm... The B button uses kind of alternate weapon of some sort, whatever that is. But look at my energy. Where do I pick up more energy from? That's gonna be it. Game over. All right. Well, there's the high score. Roger.
Roger.
Give it the old ass. Let me check the options here. What's going on with that? Energy timer. Let's set that to easy. Because that seems... I have no idea how to even get more energy. And I'm assuming you don't just beat the entire game off of the 1,000 you start with or whatever. Shield strength. Strong. Difficulty. Let's put that on easy. Okay, let me look at the controls. A, speed down. B is missile. C is speed up. And then it's on auto shot. Okay. Yeah, no lives, no continues. Or, I guess, technically, 1 life. You get 1 life. I feel like there was something else I played recently that had that kind of gimmick. Where you just get your 1 life. And then it's game over. So perhaps the speeding up. Whoa! And do I run out of those, I wonder? That's something that I... There's a power up, but I don't know what that was for. What did I get a power up for? I haven't seen any kind of collectibles, anything I can pick up. So I'm a little confused. Why does it look like my shield is damaged here? To the best of my knowledge, I haven't really taken any hits. So that's a little confusing to me. Alright, now we're going to penetrate the enemy fortress. speeding up to try and get there, you know, with a little energy left. Because we took it right down to the wire last time, only had 50. Right turn. I feel like I'm... Oh, well, there... Of course, I was going to say, I feel like I'm doing pretty well, and then I just start getting absolutely smashed. Mission 1 clear. Getting some energy back now. That's good. You can get an energy bonus at the end of the round, looks like. Alright, Ghoulie. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good evening. We'll see you again soon. Hope to see you on Monday for whatever we're doing then. Alright, let me... Whoa! Oh! Don't do that. You got these kind of fire snakes just hopping up at you. And oh, okay, so I had like a drop ship or something that just came by and gave me a power up. Got some funky bass going here. Whoop. It's good bass line. I like the tunes. Time to penetrate the enemy fortress again. But we don't have any shields left. Our shields are broken. Oh, oh! That's not good. Oh! Gets a little slippery in here. Whoop. Oh no! Ah! Extra energy. Oh, I thought we were going to be over at the, whatchamacallit? The core. That's what happened last time. They're going to put us back out in the field again. Trying to zip through here. Got my C button held down. Oh, we got to penetrate the enemy fortress again? Okay. Whoop! Whoop! Yep. Come on, we almost there? Alright, here we go. The control center. Got him. Great job. Jorfa says this makes it look more like a racing game. Yeah, I could see that when you're in the corridors there. Nope. So don't do that. This mission definitely reminds me of Space Harrier. Oh boy, look. Those things are gonna shoot right up at me. Wasn't expecting that. Gonna have to stay away from those. Do a little zippity doo dah right around them. I wonder if I have a chance to. Oh, there. That's a nice power up, but you know what I'd really like? I would like some extra shields here. That would be good. We've got like cacti growing up into the sky, trying to take us out. Imagine how high up those cacti have to be shooting up there, trying to obstruct the path of a flying spaceship. If it's a bad guy who set that up, imagine how devious you'd have to be. To not only think that up, but then have your scientists, your best minds, go to work on that. Well, I've been thinking of some new and exciting ideas that I would like you to cook up for me, mad scientist of mine. Yes, what is it this time? Yes, well, can you give me a cactus that grows really fucking fast when the spaceship comes over here? When the spaceship guy comes by, I need a cacti. I need a bunch of cacti to shoot up from the ground and try to take him out in the sky. A worthy challenge. I'll get right on it. And then he actually did it. He came up with the designs and he got to work on it. He made it happen. He made the space-bound cacti that grow from the ground all the way up into the stratosphere. And that's what we're having to contend with here. Penetrate the enemy fortress once again. I'll try. Try the right turn. Little back rooms-ish in here. Come on, speed up there. Whoop. A little fancy footwork. Whoop. I'm trying to employ a strategy where when the guys start shooting, I just tap. I tap the A button, and then I accelerate up again. Whoop. Come on. Oh no! It was working. Now we can destroy the command center, the control center. Woo! Took it to the limit that time. Garrick says this game is nice. Yeah, it's pretty good. 150 million bazillion thousand times better than Super Thunderblade. I mean, that's not even a question. I just wish that I knew how to how to get back some of my shields, because I'm very nervous about that. Now here's a power up. Oh no. Oh no. I wonder if it's like a certain number of enemies I have to destroy before I get my drop ship to come through and try to throw me a bone. Because this isn't good. This is not looking good for me. It looks like my time's about done here. Energy's down. That's it. This is it. Then you just have to watch your energy tick away until you die and your game's over. And I've talked about this before. If I were playing this game at the arcade, this wouldn't happen. Because I could put a coin in and continue playing. So it always pisses me off when arcade conversions just take away your ability to continue playing. Because the arcade player didn't have to put up with this shit. As long as you had a pocket full of change ready to go, you could keep going for as long as you want. So that's even what we experienced there. That was even with lowering the difficulty, making things as easy as possible. Doesn't matter. In the end, it doesn't even matter. I'll try again. But I just... here's what sucks. I don't feel like... my game was not ended there because I lacked the ability to fly my ship. I mean, I took some hits. I was not flying perfectly, but for never playing the game before and jumping in, I feel like I was doing okay. It just sucks to have your game ended because you, in essence, you ran out of time. And there was no, like, extra time pickup. I know they're calling it energy, but the energy is ticking down in a consistent manner like a time clock would be. So I don't know. Maybe it is a skill thing. Maybe you can get more time by defeating a certain number of enemies, and then you'll get like a bonus of some sort. But I didn't see that. It's not anything that I've witnessed at this juncture. And then I also didn't see any way to recover shields once they were gone. I've been looking. Yep. If there's a way to do it, I'd like to know. Because that would be helpful. It would be nice. Alright, penetrate the enemy fortress. At least with the B button attack, when you can use it, it kind of doesn't auto aim for the most part. It's not completely reliable, but seems to work sometimes. The auto fire doesn't seem to do a whole lot though. I'm a little confused about that. Ah, damn it. Shield broken already. Shit. I thought it was looking better for a second. I started taking damage near the end for no reason. Like a chump. Garrick says it's time to eat my special cookies. Are you talking about edible cookies? Is that what you mean by special? Marijuana cookies? As long as they're not smack cookies. You don't want to do smacked cookies. Smack edibles. Not a good idea. Stay away from that stuff. Alright, it's power up time. I don't know why sometimes it seems like I lock on and have like an awesome time with the auto aim, and then other times it just doesn't hit anyone. Oh, Fruity Pebbles Rice Krispie Treats. That sounds pretty fun. Whoop! Oh man. I'm getting horsed around here this time. All right, back out. Some extra energy. Just how about some extra shields? Does that just not exist in the game? In a game where you get one life and no continues, they also don't allow you to replenish your shields at any point. It seems like a little bit of bullshit to me. Just had a special taffy too, huh? I had a bad time with edibles once. Many moons ago. Ate way too many cookies. They were delicious. I was, I mean, literally almost an entire bag that we had baked, and I was like, I don't, it's not doing anything. And then I found some rainbow chip icing in my cabinet, and there was an entire bag of edible cookies that we had made, and I was in my kitchen just dipping them one after another in rainbow chip frosting, and I ate nearly the entire bag by myself, and I got bored. I was like, this isn't doing anything, and I ended up just going to bed. And I woke up several hours later. Like, I remember my eyes like popping open, and I was just staring at my ceiling in the darkness, and it felt like there was a 1,000-pound anvil just sitting on my chest, or like I weighed 1,000,000 pounds and couldn't move, and I was just like locked in position in my bed, completely incapable of maneuvering in any capacity. I was completely incapacitated, and it was not a fun time. And I learned a lesson that night. You gotta wait. You can't get antsy with the edibles. They don't kick in the way smoke does. It's a different experience. Alright, here we go. Well, this run's about over. I don't even know why they're taking me in here to penetrate the enemy, because I'm the one getting penetrated right now. Again. No, Jorfus, it wasn't sleep paralysis. It was weed paralysis. I had so much edible marijuana that I got like stupid high, to the point where I was not able to like move my extremities, and it had this sensation of just being pressed into my bed, you know. But it wasn't sleep paralysis. I was awake, and I didn't see anything scary. It was just that I couldn't move. I felt like I couldn't move. I'll try again. I gotta keep playing for a half hour. And this is where they want me to start. I mean, it says scene select, so I guess I can go to scene B, scene C, D. How many scenes are there? E. So it only goes to E? Yes, don't eat edible food. I don't know what happens if I start here. See how that goes. Keeping it kind of low here. Playing it low key. Whoop. Those guys tried to come after me, didn't they? Here's a power up. I think what I like about this level versus starting here versus starting with the the space level, that I guess is what they would have you start with by default, is that it seems a little easier to spot the enemies coming on the horizon. No, what was that? I don't know. Oh, okay, that was a bomb, apparently. Here's the enemy fortress that we've only been able to see for several seconds at a time, because usually this is when I'm running out of gas, or whatever my ship runs off of. Maybe my ship runs off fossil fuels. I don't know what the canonical fuel source is here. Bunch of these guys. Ah! Seems my energy level has stayed at a pretty healthy level. Going to the fortress again. Now, why did they not get targeted? See what I mean? Sometimes it offers me a target, and other times, like, nah, we don't think so. Not for this guy. See, none of those guys got the target treatment, and then those guys did. And that guy did for just a split second. Shield broken. Isn't that just cool beans? So you got 4 of them that time. Now why is it only sometimes? Mr. Jorfer says we have 5 minutes left. Our time required with this game is now at the 5-minute mark. And then we will have hit our required 30 minutes of playtime. I don't know what those guys are. Like, enemies are, can be a little nondescript, kind of tough to make out. See, I don't know what those are. It's not that things look bad, it's just that things sometimes look a little foggy, a little muddy. Alright, time to penetrate the enemy. Okay. Oh! That looked good for a second. Yeah, it's like I need an explanation concerning what's going on with the auto aim and the targeting, the lock-on feature. Because I want to know why it only works maybe 25% of the time. When it works, it works. When it doesn't, it's kind of annoying. You're like, well, how many more points would I be able to get if the auto aim worked the way that it's supposed to? I'll keep playing until my energy runs out. We'll keep going here. Because these are new levels. We haven't seen these yet. I think this would be the last one if I had started on mission A. I think this would be the final mission. So we'll keep going with it. There's our power up. Kind of a cool look to this one, with the moons off in the distance. Kind of a gray, silvery complexion to the planet that we're flying over top of here. Could be another moon itself. You do a good job to kind of keep moving back and forth across the screen. It's kind of like a Space Harrier type of strategy, really. That enemy that I was just fighting, that big guy, kind of snake-ish looking fella, reminded me of the dragon guy that you fight. One of the, maybe it's the first. Is it the first level of Space Harrier? If not the first, one of the first. Oh no, well, that's it. Ran out of energy. Fuel empty. So there you go.
Roger.
Put my ass in one more time for good measure. For good measure.
Roger.
Ass in. Oh, over on start. I was wondering what that was. The start column lets you know which mission you started on. Okay. So there you go. Roger. Galaxy Force 2 for the Sega Mega Drive. There you have it. All right. Let me just say something real quick. I'm going to pat myself on the back for not dying a single time because I got blown up by an enemy. All of my lives in that game were lost because I ran out of fuel. So I'm going to take that home with me as an achievement tonight. I think that's something to be proud of. That means that my flying skills were good enough to where I was able to maneuver in such a way where even once I lost shields, it's like I stepped up to the challenge and I maintained. I was not blown asunder a single time in my Galaxy Force ship, in my Tri-Z. So, fact or cap all the stuff that Sam Forrester had to say. If you ever wondered what it would actually feel like to have been Luke Skywalker at the end of Star Wars, you need look no further than Galaxy Force 2. Yeah, I mean, for the time, sure. I can see the comparison. Okay, just explains the basic idea behind the game, what you're doing. You're fighting an evil Fourth Empire before they can take over the galaxy. Says this game was massively popular in Japanese arcade halls. Then we got the console ports in the 90s. More about what you're doing in the game. Talks about the environment working against you. Yes, it does. You know, we had the lava, the cacti springing up from the ground. You must be careful to keep an eye on not only your shields, which will be depleted by enemy fire, but your energy level as well. Once you run out of fuel, it's game over, so there's a degree of resource management to juggle as well, and that's what I was trying to figure out. Okay, well, how do you juggle that resource? How are you supposed to juggle it? It seems like it's eaten up no matter what you do. Okay. Action in Galaxy Force is non-stop, and it is bloody good fun tearing through the levels with your finger on the trigger. It's certainly a game you can keep coming back to, especially if you fancy having another go on a tougher difficulty. I don't see... I mean... I guess. But playing on easy seemed like you're playing on hard. I would have figured that's... What are you going to get? How are they going to make it any harder than it already is? It bears a pretty strong resemblance to Space Harrier, another great classic title. Little disappointing that there aren't any bosses to speak of. That's true. I mean, you can't really consider the big enemy console that you have to destroy. The generator. It's not much of a boss fight. It doesn't do anything. It just kind of sits there and allows you to destroy it. So, I don't know. I think that it would have been neat to have a boss fight at the end of each mission that then allows you to get even more bonus energy points. Energy units of energy to refill your tank for the next level. And then also, maybe some shield pickups. If I had to suggest anything to add to this game, that would be it. A nice, good old-fashioned boss fight at the end of each mission where, alright, now you're going to have a chance to replenish both your energy and your shields. And I know that you get your little drop, it seemed like once per level, when your ship friend would stop by and give you a little boost. But giving you a nice big bonus for defeating a boss so you can go into the next level with a fairly clean slate, fairly full health, fairly full energy. I think that'd be nice. They don't do that. And thank you, Jorphus, for the high fives there. Jorphus is giving this game 800 Mr. Jorphuses out of a possible 1,000 Mr. Jorphuses, and I am going to give Galaxy Force 2 on the Sega Mega Drive a score of 750 Super Divorces out of a possible 1,000 Super Divorces. 750. That's my score for Galaxy Force 2. I was considering 800 as well, and then I thought, well, no, not 800, because no continues, because no extra lives, no allowing you to even turn that feature on in the options menu so that you could just go through it. I mean, it's nice they let you start on whichever mission you want so that you can see the levels, but you want to play through it. To not even allow the player the option of starting with more than one life. Not allowing them to continue. I don't like that. So, it's still an above average score for me. For me, 500 is right smack dab in the middle. That's an average game. 500, very average game. Probably worth playing once, you know? 750 is a very good game. I can tell that a lot of effort was put into that one. They had some really cool set pieces, some cool backgrounds, great music throughout. Artwork with the enemies got a little muddy at times, but you can only do so much on the Mega Drive. When you're coming off of like an arcade hit that was made to push the limits of a sort of series of arcade machines that were built to be like top tier, high tech at the time. When you're coming from that to the console, you're gonna have your work cut out for you. So not everything's going to look crisp and pristine the way it would in the arcades. And I understand that, so I'm not faulting them too much there. They tried to squeeze a lot onto a Mega Drive or Genesis cartridge here. So I appreciate it. I appreciate the hustle. I can respect that. I'm not faulting the game for any of those things. It's more of some, I guess, gameplay decisions. Not allowing the player to continue, not allowing the player to have extra lives. And then also that fuel function. Now, so if they would have altered those decisions a bit, then I think it would have gotten a much higher score. But it is what it is, and 750. Jorfer said, yeah, maybe I'm being too generous. Maybe 760 out of 1,000, Mr. Jorfer says. Well, look, I don't want to sway your decision. If you feel like it was an 800 game, then I want you to stick with that. Don't feel pressured by my score at all. If you want to make it a perfect score, that's fine. I don't want you to feel pressured into changing your score and lowering it if you think it's worth 800 Mr. Jorfus's, then that's what I want you to give it. But if your mind is truly, if I have truly swayed your opinion here, if your mind has changed, then by all means, go ahead. All right. So, I guess in the final analysis, as Sam Forrester said, this is a rip-roaring rail shooter. So I would say that his review is mostly fact. No cap for Sam Forrester tonight. And not a phoned-in review either. He did a good job with this one. Next time, what do we have coming up here on the next ep? Next time, we're going to be grounding our ship and maybe even heading into some dungeons on the next episode of Sega Mania. So hopefully you will stop by and see what we got cooking next time. If you have not done so, please sub to the channel, bong the gong for notifications, hit that notification bell so you maybe find out when new videos go live, when I go live, if YouTube feels like telling you. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, but if you want a chance at being notified, that's what you gotta do. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't like it. Comment below if you got anything to say. Any requests for future games, future series, questions, comments, concerns, anything you got down there in the comments section. Comment section is your oyster. Throw some cocktail sauce on it and have a real good time. If you'd like to follow me on Twitter, you can do so at SuperDivorce. On Instagram at SuperDivorceBand. And I play music from time to time, so if you want to check out Super Divorce tunes, just head over to your favorite streaming service like Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, wherever you stream your horse shit, you can find Super Divorce. Just type in Super Divorce, pick out a song, and give it a shot, please. I like to say there's a little something for everyone. So check it out. Thank you for everyone who has been watching this evening or watching later if you're coming in after the fact. Appreciate you. Everyone lurking in the background, in the shadows, all the lurking lurkers out there. Feel free at any time to hop in the chats and to talk some shit, to make your voices and opinions heard. You're more than welcome to do so. But if you want to continue lurking and hanging out in the shadows, then that's fine too. I just appreciate you being here in any capacity. And same goes for all of the chatty Cathys chatting it up in the chats, keeping things lively and fun, keeping the banter going. I appreciate y'all. As always, Garg, Jorphus, thanks for hanging in till the end here. Hope you've enjoyed Galaxy Force 2 on the Sega Mega Drive. And with that, everyone, have a great weekend. Might be back tomorrow. Maybe. I don't know. Might do something live streaming tomorrow. We'll find out. We'll see. We'll see. If not, enjoy your Easter weekend. And we'll be back for another episode of Sega Mania on Monday. Till next time, take real good care, keep kicking ass, love you lots. Lord willing, I'll be back very soon with another video for you to watch. Bye-bye.